That is a damn nice soundtrack. That is a good cover. Oh my god. You know what? I'll tell you, I'll give it one thing to Fairy Tail. Not my favorite anime or anything like that, but the soundtrack of Fairy Tail, like the opening themes, the ending themes, and the soundtrack for the actual show, that's all pretty fire. I mean, I don't think anybody would really argue that. Even like the harshest critics of like Fairy Tail have to admit that soundtrack is pretty damn fire, you know? Hi everybody, how you doing? Yeah, new starting soon screen. I want to change them depending on the season. So we had spring, which with Byakuya, because like, you know, cherry blossoms, and I'm like, okay, I need a new one for summer, and I kind of kept putting it off, and I wasn't really thinking about which one I should do for summer. And Natsu just means, literally, it just means summer in Japanese. Like, that's Natsu's name, is just summer. So I thought, all right, let's just, I don't usually do Fairy Tail, but let's just use a Fairy Tail character. Why not? And so that song was a cover of Strike Back, which is the 16th opening of Fairy Tail, done by Dave Does Music and collabs with his friend named Tyler. I leave a link in the description for that if you wouldn't want to go see that whole cover they did. That's Dave's the same guy. Dave Does Music, same guy that helped me when I did that One Piece openings video. When we went through all the openings of One Piece, and he covered like pretty much every single one of them. So I asked him to help me for the video because I'm like, I can't play the actual songs, so I needed somebody to do the cover of the songs, and he already did pretty much all of them. So I'm like, hey, you want to help me out with this? And he's like, sure. And he was a really cool guy to work with, so maybe we can do another one for like the endings of One Piece at some point. But anyway, hey guys, how's everybody doing? No, I don't have a My Anime List, or rather I do. I probably have like a My Anime List account, but I haven't used it in years and years and years and years and years, and it's been like a very, very long time. I did see that kind of a big thing in the news was, or the anime news, was that Fruits Basket passed up Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood on Anime List. And a lot of people were, like, really opinionated about that. And I'm just like, well, you know, it's not like, you know, like, it's just a ranking from, like, a regular website. I mean, I like both of those series. I saw the series finale of Fruits Basket. I love Fruits Basket. If I had to pick between Fruits Basket or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I would probably pick FMAB. I mean, like, I probably would watch that more, but Fruits Basket is really good too, but I'm just like, there were people getting really upset over that, and I'm like, guys, it's just some random, it's like a website that, like, you know, isn't it like kind of like IMDb, where you can go on IMDb and you can, like, rank the movies, and, like, so you use, like, top 10 lists of movies on IMDb, like, here are the 100 greatest movies of all time. That's not, like, an objective thing, like, these are the 100 greatest and they shall stand for all time. It's like, no, it's just, it's like a public opinionated thing. But anyway, yeah, I don't really go on, yeah, I saw that it went back, too, because Fruits Basket was ahead of that, and everybody got really like, no, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood cannot be unthroned, and then they just went, and I'm like, all right, you guys have fun. I mean, that's fine. I mean, whatever. But, you know, it's like, it's just a ranking on a website. Don't get too banana shape about it. It's not a big deal. You know, you can still like whatever you like. It's fine. You know, it was funny, the other day, so I was watching, one of my favorite horror movies is 1408 with John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson. Hold on. Have it over here. Oh wait, I don't. Aw, man. Oh wait, no, there it is. Hold on. Oh my god. I need to organize my DVDs better. Anyway, yeah. So, I love this horror movie. I really like it. I haven't seen it in a few years, so I watched it the other night, and I'm like, man, I really love this movie. It's like a psychological thriller, like horror movie. Samuel L. Jackson isn't in it a lot, but the one moment he's in it is, like, amazing, and John Cusack is probably my best John Cusack movie I've ever seen. And I go on IMDb, and I'm, like, looking at a list, because they have, like, here are, like, John Cusack's, like, top 10 best movies ever, and I'm like, oh, man, this has to be in, like, the top 3. And most of them didn't even have it on there. Or if they did, it was like, you know, number 13, number 14 or whatever. And I'm like, oh, so I disagreed with that, but I'm not like, you know, upset over the ranking or anything. I'm just like, you know, okay, well, I guess I really, really like it. And most people are like, toward it. But it is a good movie, though. It is a really good movie. I would check it out. I actually did. I did a movie night on this way back in like a few years ago. But yeah, that was fun because Ustream was a streaming service that didn't really care if I just streamed a movie and, you know, in front of my audience, because I can't really get away with that on YouTube. And there's other services. I think Rabbit is one of them, but it's like that's like a limit to how many people can watch. But yeah, those were fun. Yeah, I love Samuel L. Jackson. Probably if I was going to pick my favorite movie of all time, period, like if I had to pick one, and there's a lot of really good ones, but if I had to pick one, I would probably just settle on Pulp Fiction. I think Pulp Fiction is a pretty solid pick for me. You got Quentin Tarantino, you got Samuel L. Jackson, you got John Travolta. You know, like, it's a great movie. And, you know, it's one of those movies I can pretty much sit down and watch whenever. Uma Thurman. I mean, like, pretty much sit down and watch that movie whenever I, like, have to. And it's, like, fine. You know, or if I was like, you had to watch one movie, like, 3 times in a row. And I'd be like, oh, okay, I don't know. Like, but I'd probably pick Pulp Fiction and be like, all right, I could probably go through that pretty quickly. You know? Let's see, where do I find the D&D videos? Do you mean the One Piece D&D videos? Those are all on Rustage's second channel, which is just called Rustage 2. Yeah, you go on Rustage's channel, it should be like, you know, at the very bottom, like other channels. Or you could just type in Rustage One Piece D&D on YouTube, and you will be whisked away to that. Yes, I've thought about doing that. I've wanted to do Geography is Everything on real-world locations. I don't really... it's gone through a few different iterations of, like, how I would want to do it. I could just pick a location and go through that area. At my most ambitious, like, I want to do it like an Anthony Bourdain, like, travels the world, like, no reservations kind of deal. When I was in high school, I had a whole class where it was kind of like... At my school, like, a teacher could, if the teacher was there for a while, the teacher could basically just have their own class, like a separate thing. It wasn't part of, like, the core subject. Kind of like their own class that they can design, and then they can, you know, plan the curriculum, you know. And I had this history teacher that was just, he loved Anthony Bourdain. Like, Anthony Bourdain was, like, a really, like, not loved Anthony Bourdain, but, like, you know what I mean. Like, he's like, man, I really love this dude. And he had a whole class called Travel the Globe with Geography, where we pretty much just sat around and watched episodes of Anthony Bourdain. And yes, unfortunately, Anthony Bourdain, he passed away a few years ago, which I feel my teacher was very upset over that one. I knew somebody that, like, you know, was, like, friends with him, and when Anthony Bourdain passed away, he was like, oh yeah, he was really, like, upset over that. Like, that was his, like, hero that passed away. And so, anyway... all we did was watch episodes of Anthony Bourdain, No Reservations, okay? And that show was pretty much just Anthony Bourdain traveling the world and eating amazing food. And here we are in, like, high school watching this, like, second period. It's, like, freaking 9 in the morning, and he's just like, now I'm in New Orleans trying delicious gumbo, and I'm sitting there like, oh, God, I want some of that so bad. And it's, like, it's still, like, another 3 hours to freaking lunch, and even then it's like, here's your chicken nuggets. I'm like... You know, it's like, here's delicious food from all over the world. Today I'm going to a gourmet restaurant in Los Angeles, California, or Paris, France, and I'm like, Tokyo, Japan, authentic sushi, and I'm like, going to lunch, here's a rock hard pizza for you. Oh, man, but I thought that's, like, my most ambitious. Like, if I ever somehow, like, won the lottery, I would do, like, that kind of stuff, like Tekking travels the globe or whatever. Another variation of that was I would basically set up, like, a form, like a Google Doc or like a Google form, and I would send it out to my fans, and the idea would be, like, you fill out this form of, like, what country you're from, what interesting things you would talk about involving your country or the geography of the country, and basically I would look through these, and then I would do separate, kind of like a podcast, I would do, like, separate episodes of Geography is Everything. Like, today, this is someone from Brazil, and so, you know, this is all the stuff that's in Brazil, and then we would talk about Brazil and everything. Like, kind of like that, like, getting my fans involved. That would be something I would really need to figure out, like, a structure, though, you know, like, you know, like an interview process and everything, like, you know, okay, what are you going to talk about? What are some stuff about your country that you like, and some stuff that people might not know about? Like if I was talking to somebody from Egypt, obviously, like, the pyramids would be something get brought up immediately, right? But it's like, hey, what's something else in your country that's really popular, but people around the world don't really know about it, or something? Or what is a delicacy, a kind of food there that's a big deal that might nobody even realize? You know, that's the kind of stuff that I was thinking about But that's a long way off. I have no idea when that'll ever happen or if it will ever happen. It's just one of the ideas that floats around my head at any given time. We got a $50 super sticker from Grim Farm. Okay, thank you. And then we got PA3K. Since Mr. 2 could copy Chopper's hybrid form, does that mean that in theory he can also copy other zone hybrids, for example, Kaido or Marco? So I think the way the clone fruit works is that whenever he touches someone's face with his right hand, I believe it's his right hand that does the copying and then the left hand turns it back to normal. So I think whatever face he touches of any living being, it doesn't have to be a human, it could be an animal, it could be a mink, doesn't matter, touches someone and it's just frozen at that state. Okay, so it's not like he is copying Chopper's hybrid, but he's not copying the Hito no Mi. That's what Chopper happened to look like when Mr. 2 touched his face. So, therefore, that is the form he will assume. So it's not like he can transform into Chopper's heavy point or anything. And in fact, if he, like, let's say Chopper, you know, he touched his face when he was in his hybrid, when he was in his brain point. Let's say Chopper transformed into his heavy point, and then Mr. 2, you know, touched his face again. I don't think he would have access to both. I think it would just be an updated version of it. Right, so he wouldn't be able to go into, like, his hybrid and his heavy point. It would only be, like, the heavy point now, because it's, like, it's updated. Like, for example, if Mr. 2 were to transform into Zoro right now, it would still be Zoro from pre-time skip, before Zoro got the scar. If Mr. 2 were to copy Zoro's face again right now, he wouldn't be able to transform into pre-time skip Zoro and post-time skip Zoro. It would just be updated to post-time skip Zoro with the scar. That would be what I think would happen. It's 6 a.m. here, and I have to get ready for work, but if the Straw Hats rated another manga, which would you like them to appear in? Freaking Dr. Stone. Let's just... Because Boichi already did a crossover. There was already a crossover covers chapter where Senku develops an interdimensional portal and saves Ace from being killed by Akainu. Screw it. I know you could say, like, One Piece meets Naruto, One Piece meets Bleach, or One Piece meets Fairy Tail. Screw it. One Piece meets Dr. Stone. Or One Punch Man. That would be really fun, too. I'm almost out of iced tea. Well, what does my mom think? Well, my mom is not home right now, which is when I tend to try to film these. When my mom is at work, which is typically she works in the morning, so I try to film these in the morning or early afternoon before she gets home. Yesterday, I was filming that Vivara card video, and I had Whitebeard's Naganana, Muro Kumogiri, that was, like, up here, and I was filming, and the thing just fell, and I'm like, oh, shit. It was just barely close to just, like, crushing my lamp and just, like, shattering, and that's, like, a smart bulb I have in there, so it's like, ah, man, that's, like, you know, kind of an expensive, like, smart bulb to get shattered. That would really suck. It just barely missed that. And I had this bit where I'm like, oh, thank God, Mr. Whitebeard, please, you know, save me the wrath of your, you know, your angry spirit, you know, like, so I ran with that, and my mom was downstairs when I filmed that yesterday, and she didn't say anything, because it's like, hey, she knows that I film stuff up here. I've been doing it for, like, 10 years now, over that. I've been doing YouTube for 12 years now, so, you know. I don't film at night when she's asleep. My mom, because she gets up really early to go to work. She usually has to get up at like 4 a.m. to work out and then go to work in the morning. So I don't film things like after. She goes to bed at like 7. My mom goes to bed. Like the other day, she went to bed. I'm in her room, you know, and Duchess is in there. Duchess has her own bed in there and she's going to bed too. And it's like, it's bright in the room. Like she has 3 windows and it's like the sun. It's like, it was like the longest day of the year, like a few weeks ago. It was like June 20th or whatever. And it's like, Mom, it's like a bright day. Like, how do you fall asleep with this? And she's like, oh, it doesn't. It's fine. And I'm like, okay, because I could not fall asleep if, like, you know, these are not really blackout curtains, but they don't let that much light in. But my mom's are just, like, really bright. So it's like, yeah. Anyway, let's see. Thank you very much for all the content, Matt. I wish you the best. Thank you. Yep, I'm keeping it up. I'm doing really good with the live streams. I'm really happy with that because I was out of the live stream like loop for so long. It was one of those things where it like I didn't do one this month, but maybe next month. And it's just like, yeah, it just wasn't. I was like, I need to get to a schedule. Like, honestly, I need to stick to a freaking schedule. I'm not that kind of person that's usually good at doing that. But because I'm not good at, like, this is the video I'm going to do Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Like, I'm not good at that. But I'm like, okay, how about I pick 2 days out of the week? So I'm like, Wednesday is usually my day off, and then Saturday will be my streaming day. And then everything else, I'll do a video, and, you know, it has to follow a specific structure. Like, Sundays have to be the reviews. Mondays have to be the follow-up to the reviews. But then Tuesday, Thursday, Friday can kind of be whatever I want. And I was even going to make a video on Wednesday. The ice cream video was actually supposed to come out Wednesday, but I just, you know what? It's my day off. It's good to take a day off, because there were moments here where I was going like 6, 7, 8 days in a row making videos like every day, and I was getting kind of buggy. So I was like, yeah, let's keep it to 5 videos a week. I think that's pretty good. Maybe 5 videos a week and 1 live stream. I think that's pretty good. Let's see. You inspired me to make my own YouTube channel. Well, keep at it. I hope you're the best. Just keep at it. Try to maintain a more regular schedule. Somewhat. It can be erratic, but it still has to be like, you know, a scheduled erratic kind of video series. But yeah. Can Ichigo beat Naruto? I think Screw Attack did that video. And, yeah, you know what? They did. And I remember when it was announced, because they announced the death battles before, like, a few weeks before they do them. So they're like, you know, the next death battle is Naruto versus Ichigo. And I made a video, because this was like a year after Bleach ended. So all of Ichigo's powers had already been established at that point. His final Bankai, you know, his, Gran Rey Cero Getsuga he used against Yuha. Like, all of that stuff had already been established. His Vasto Lorde form that he can kind of control. All that stuff was there. And then Naruto, I mean, Boruto was still going on, so, like, the Baryon mode and stuff wasn't a thing. But, like, they had all of the original Naruto and then also the movie The Last. So they had all of that to work with. So that was the Naruto. So I made a video about that death battle before it aired, like what I thought was going to happen. And I can't remember if it was on Twitter or if it was on the YouTube video itself. But Wiz from Wiz and Boomstick on Screw Attack actually commented on one of that stuff on the video I made. And they did a video after the death battle talking about the making of the death battle. And Wiz was there kind of like, you know, oh yeah, this past, you know, in research, we watched a bunch of these videos and people talking about this. And I'm like, ah! You know, he's talking about me. So, yeah. And I basically came down to like, Naruto would still probably win. And he did, I believe. What is CFYOW? That is Can't Fear Your Own World, which is the Bleach light novel series that comes in 3 parts. I have the first one. Haven't gotten the second or the third part yet. Yeah, Screw Attack is hella inconsistent. Once again, I don't watch them for, like, an actual, like, okay, this is 100% the objective, because there's no way you could do that. Like, the only way, like, the level of a standard that I would need to have for a true crossover battle where to, like, definitively decide which one is stronger is, like, you would have to get, like, Oda and Kishimoto together in a room and actually go through every single thing that both of their characters were capable of and have them have, like, a long conversation, which is probably something that they're busy people, guys. They don't have time to do that. But, like, you know, like, to go through all of that and then finally decide, okay, this is who's stronger. But that's probably never going to happen because that takes up a lot of time. And, yeah. So, anyway, I watch it because the animations are pretty good. Because the Screw Attack animations, and I haven't even actually watched a death battle in a while. I think the last time I watched a death battle was Zoro versus Urza. And I don't even remember who won that. I feel like it probably would have been Urza, because Urza's Urza. But yeah, I think that was the last one I remember watching. Yeah, but they're fun. I remember watching the Superman Goku ones, and the animation, like the CG was really good on that. What's the most expensive anime item I own? I bought or I own, because people send me, like, I got another Sodai no Shirayuki again in the mail. Like, I went to the post office the other day. It's like, all right, here's the thing. And I can tell right away by the size of the box, like, this is a sword. Like, I can immediately tell. Because, you know, wall scrolls are a little, like, in a tube, and this was, like, a big, like, cylindrical box, and I'm like, it's a sword. So I get home and open it. It's a katana. I open it, and it's Sodai no Shirayuki. It's Rukia's sword. So now I own 2 of Rukia's swords, which is great. So I own, like, 2 Zangetsus and 2 Sodai no Shirayukis. So, yeah. Oh, before I forget, the next fan mail will be this Wednesday. So, like, Wednesdays I'll usually have off. Like, once a month I'll do the fan mail for that particular month. I got a decent amount of fan mail from June. I actually got a lot last month. So, yeah, that'll be July 7th, this coming Wednesday. I'll do the fan mail stream. And then next Saturday will be another live stream like this. Where is Barry? He is over yonder with his new eyeball. Ugh. Yeah! His new eye. I actually had to go... The reason I did the eye patch was because I could have sworn I had, like, more googly eyes for Barry, but I couldn't find them anywhere. Still probably have them, but they're just buried somewhere in my studio. And so I didn't actually have a Google eye to film the video in, the ice cream one, so I actually had to hurry up and make, like, an eye patch to put on him out of craft foam. Because it was either that or Barry just wouldn't have an eye. So I'm like, crap. And so I had to go to the store and I bought more googly eyes. So I was going to have this little bit, because they come in different sizes. I was going to have a little bit where, like, we started with, like, the super tiny eye, and then we go to, like, every video, they progressively, like, the eye gets a little bit bigger, and so we finally get back, like, he's regrowing it slowly. But then I just decided, screw it. I'll just do the regular eye. Yeah. Ever watch Trigun? Unfortunately, no. I know it's really good. You know, I know the characters. I've never really sat down and watched it, though. Mini berries. Oh, that'll be the next thing. We have, like, little mini berries, like, invading everything. Did you know bungee gum possesses the properties of both rubber and gum? You don't say, Gold D. Luffy. You don't say. This changes everything. They could do kind of sit-down podcasts with the mangakas during Golden Week. Not entirely sure what the purpose of Golden Week is. Golden Week is basically, like, vacation week in Japan for, like, the country, which is pretty awesome that they actually... Like, people get off school, and I don't know if you get off work or anything, but it's like a festival week. It's like, just like, hey, relax kind of week, which is nice. Especially in Japan, because there's like, there was actually a documentary on this. I was talking to my friends about this a couple weeks ago. There's this overworking kind of businessman culture in Japan that's actually really, really rough, where you have, like, let's say somebody going to work at an office, like a salaryman kind of deal, and they work, like, super long hours, overtime, and then they get off work at, like, 11 o'clock or midnight, and they have to be back in the office at, like, 7, so they just, like, collapse on a park bench, still wearing their suits, wake up the next day, and go back to work. Because, like, it's, like, a very stigmatized thing in Japan to be seen as, like, lazy, or, like, you're not doing your job. And so it's like these businessmen are, like, working themselves to death in Japan, and it's like a really rough situation. There was a whole documentary about it. Is it safe to say that Luffy's dream is real because he sleeps? Meanwhile, Blackbeard's dream is not real because he can't fall asleep. Oh, that's an interesting way of looking at it. Yeah, because Blackbeard cannot, like, literally taking it to the, like, you know, Blackbeard does not sleep, so his dream is different from... Let me look at that again. Hold on. Luffy's dream is real because he sleeps. Meanwhile, Blackbeard's dream is not real because he can't fall asleep. Oh, man, that's a cool way of looking at it. I never really assumed. I thought it was like... I mean, it might be both. I just assumed, like, Blackbeard doesn't need to sleep because he has, like, more than one soul in his body, right? So he can, like, you know, one version of him can sleep. Kind of like the movie Identity, which also has John Cusack in it. John Cusack over here. Yeah, so... It might be something like that, but it also might actually be more of, like, a symbolic thing of, like, dreams and sleep and whatnot. That's a good idea. Finish Final Fantasy. I might finish that, and Briar, that's a reference to Prism. I might finish Final Fantasy X at some point. That would have to be when I have a better gaming setup. You know, Roger's Base filmed, he has this new apartment, and he did an apartment tour, and he's, like, showing, like, the apartment, everything, and, he showed his office, and he has like this big desk with like 2 curved monitors, and I'm like, and a brand new gaming PC, and I'm like, oh man, I don't have room for any of that. And like, I would love to get a proper office with like, do you know they make curved monitors that are curved? I have this, and I have my TV, and that's it, man. That's all I got. It's the same setup I've had since like 2012. Oh god. But yeah, I hope to maybe start gaming again at some point. Which heroes from other countries will come and help Japan in My Hero Academia? I hope it's Captain Celebrity. It would be great if they brought back Captain Celebrity, who is in Vigilantes, which takes place like a few years. I think Vigilantes takes place like 5 years before My Hero Academia. So I think it's like, I guess like Deku would be like in elementary school at the beginning of Vigilantes. Or maybe it's like right at the beginning of middle school for him. I don't know, but it's like a few years before before My Hero starts. You know, it tells the story of how like Aizawa first became a teacher at UA, like that kind of stuff. Read Vigilantes because it's really good. It actually touches upon a lot of stuff, like characters that we get introduced to in My Hero that show up as a prequel in Vigilantes. Like Mirako is there, Rappa is there, Midnight. It's a really good thing. It's not like this self-contained story that has nothing to do with My Hero. Are we going to learn about the 3 admirals under Kong in Garp's flashback? Okay, so one of them was Sengoku. One of them, well, I guess Garp would have been promoted, but he didn't take it. So I guess there were 2 others. I guess Osuru wasn't a vice admiral unless she became an admiral and then chose to, like, you know, end it or something. Like, you know, I don't want to be an admiral anymore. I just want to be a vice admiral from now on. Maybe something like that she did. I'm not sure. My monitor is curved. Well, good for you. La-dee-da. Do you think a Straw Hat will die at the end of the One Piece story? I hope not. That would be a way to end a story. That would be a really bittersweet way to end it, you know? Like, yeah. This is the straight-up end of One Piece. And they find the One Piece, and they find Laugh Tale, and they win the war and everything, but, like, Usopp died at the end of it. Like, that would fucking suck. I hope nobody dies. What's William's favorite ice cream? William's favorite ice cream, trying to think the flavor William would like. I don't know. See, William, like, I said on the SBS his favorite food was, like, walnut glazed shrimp. Because it's One Piece, and like a big part of it is like the ocean, and like seafood is probably a delicacy in most islands, so seafood makes sense. You know what? I'm just gonna go with like chocolate, like a dark chocolate, because that's basically my favorite flavor. I like dark chocolate, like ice cream, dark chocolate Oreos and stuff. I'll just go with like dark chocolate with maybe some like, I don't know, marshmallows on it or something, maybe. Usopp can't die. He's a god. Good point. Good point. Let's see. But yeah, Captain Celebrity showing up, or other, you know, heroes from various countries. Like, here's the German hero. Here's the French hero. You know, that would be cool. You ever think about reacting to Rustage's music? I don't really do a lot of reaction stuff on the channel. See if you can catch the bars. I listen to Rustage's stuff when he's, like, doing a One Piece thing. He'll send it to me directly. Sometimes I'll listen to stuff before he releases it. Like, I remember the Dragon one. He had me listen to that beforehand, you know, and all of us in, like, One Piece D&D, like, we'll be in the chat in One Piece D&D, and he'll be like, hey, this is the song that's coming out this week, you know, take a listen to it, what I have so far, and we'll listen to it and be like, man, that's fucking hype. Yeah, I don't really do reaction stuff on YouTube, though. Years ago, when One Punch Man Season 1 was airing, I remember I did reactions to a few of those episodes. I did reactions to a few One Punch Man episodes. They all got taken down, though, because of copyright claims. I remember they did very well. They got a lot of views, but, you know, I played the anime in the episode. I know there's other ways you can do it that's safer, but I usually tend to just stay away from anime footage, period. Maybe the Gumu Gumu Devil Fruit belonged to a fleet admiral before Sengoku and Rocks killed the... Excuse me. Before Sengoku and Rocks killed that person, rather than the Devil Fruit belonging to Joy Boy or Roger, a Marine. I mean, like, it's possible that... I don't think... Roger did not have a Devil Fruit. I don't think Roger had a Devil Fruit. It's possible that, you know, Joy Boy had it, and then the Gumu Gumu no Mi was reincarnated various times throughout history. I don't think it went right from Luffy to... I mean, right from Joy Boy to Luffy. There could have been other people, like, during, you know, Sengoku and Rox's time that had the Devil Fruit. And then it got reincarnated, and that's when Who's Who found it, like, decades later. And then, you know, Ace not Ace, Shanks stole it, and then Luffy got it, you know, like, there you go. What do you think the world government would do if some random baker in the East Blue named their child after Roger? I mean, like, I don't think they would really do anything to that person. It would probably be, well, okay, it would be kind of like naming your child Hitler. You know, like, that's like the equivalent in the One Piece world, like, because from the world government's perspective, Roger was this global criminal that you managed to plunge the entire world into upheaval by starting the Great Pirate Era. So there might be a law that you can't name your kid after Goldie Roger. I can't put it, you know, past the world government. But, like, from regular civilians in the One Piece world, probably most of the civilians, I mean, some of them might be like, yeah, Roger, you know, age of exploration and the age of piracy. But there's probably, like, the vast majority of civilians that probably view Roger as, like, this horrible criminal that started this era of even more criminals. And that's horrible. So that's, like, yeah, like, you probably would not name your kid after Goldie Roger in the One Piece world. And if you did, and that kid grew up and started to go, like if that kid tried to join the Marines, like, my name is Goldie Roger. What? Or Gold Roger, because the public didn't know it was Gold D. It just, like, they would be like, they would probably they would probably not purge, but they'd probably, like, do an investigation, like, why are you named that? Like, my parents really liked Roger, so that would lead to questions. So yeah, no. Can you explain Joy Boy? I have a few videos on the channel, as much as we know. That, yeah, I would just, you know, he was a person that lived during the Void Century that was probably the progenitor of the D clan, although we do not know that. He was probably the person that might have started what piracy was even about in One Piece. Once again, we don't know that. He might have been a member of the Ancient Kingdom, but once again, we do not know that. We just know his name was Joy Boy. He probably had a giant hat. And one thing we know for certain is he knew the mermaid princess Poseidon back during that day, and the Noah was constructed as a promise that he made with the people on Fishman Island, the fishmen and the merfolk, but we don't know anything else beyond that. Some people say that because Robin said, I want to live while crying. She has said she wants to die with a smile on her face, the opposite. I mean, that sounds like something Oda would do. There's a lot of symbolism with, like, smiles and crying and dying with a smile on your face and people that don't die with a smile on their face and the connection to Will of D. There's a lot of, like, layered symbolism in One Piece that may or may not foreshadow things later, or it's, like, just there because it's, like, an artistic choice. But yeah, I mean, I could see that as a comparison. But yeah, Robin's not going to die. Of course not. Of course not. I'm lazy. I didn't watch your video. Did you think Marco's bounty is too low? The man was the right-hand man of Whitebeard, and Roger's sword is named Ace. Seems a little corny to me. Yeah, I think a lot of people thought it was a little corny, but, you know, this is Oda we're talking about, so it sounds a little corny. Wait until we get the full explanation on why Roger's sword was named Ace. Ace could have been like, you know what? It could have been a thing, like, Ace was, like, Roger's mentor. Like, Ace was, like, this great... Because there were pirates before Roger. When the Rumbar crew were doing their thing, Roger was a rookie. So Rox was probably the big name, but even before Rox, there was probably, like, a big pirate in the world, okay? And Roger was probably inspired by a pirate, just like how Luffy was inspired by Shanks. Shanks was inspired by Roger. Roger was inspired by somebody else, too. So it's probably going to be a thing where Roger was inspired by some guy named Ace, who was, like, the greatest pirate, like, 100 years ago or something. And Roger was born 77 years ago. So let's say, how about this? How about we go with this? Let's say there was a great pirate 100 years ago named Ace, all right? And then he retired from piracy. And then by the time he was an old man, Roger was a little kid. So when Roger was like 10 years old, Ace was already like 80 or 90. And Roger knew him, and he taught him about the sea and be like, you're gonna go out to sea, Roger. Look at all the crazy stuff. You're gonna grow a magnificent mustache. And then that's where Roger learned, like, about, like, adventure and everything, you know, traveling the seven seas and everything. And so he left, and then he made his sword, or he found his sword. He named it Ace after his mentor, and it's kind of like Goku naming his son Gohan after his grandpa Gohan. It's probably going to be something like that. Like, you know, I wouldn't put it past Oda. It's probably not just like, this is a cool name for a sword. All right, son, your name's going to be Ace. After my sword. Brook would have known about Rox. Like, Brook would have been around probably the time when Rox was probably prominent in the ocean. Yeah. It's just that Rocks, the name never really came up to the Straw Hats. Like, if the Straw Hats ever learned about Rocks, ever heard the name Rocks from somewhere, Brooke would probably know about it. Did I answer this one? No, I didn't. What do you think of Endeavor's recent arc, and do you have any theories for My Hero Academia? Do you mean recent arc in the anime or the manga? I'd rather not talk about the manga. Recent arc in the anime, yeah, the Endeavor and Agency arc. It's gonna get very, it goes into some dark places with Endeavor's family, and that's kind of the goal, with Horikoshi doing that. But I like the Endeavor Agency arc. They actually switched the arcs around in the 5th season. We're probably gonna end it out with the My Villain Academia arc. Yo, Tekking, there's a sweet called Mozart, I have no idea how to pronounce that, in Austria, and there's even an ice cream version. That would be Brooke's favorite ice cream. Ooh. Yeah, because Brooke is from Austria, if he was in our world. What's your Ukraine history? You know what? Actually, sadly, I don't know that much about it. The other day, I was just thinking about this, because right now I'm doing research on the history of China. I also have a book on Aztec and Inca and Mayan and Olmec civilizations, Mesoamerica civilizations, and so I'm reading about that kind of stuff. I'm kind of going in order. I'm kind of like, I read about ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia, and now I'm reading about, like, China, which came a little bit later. And so I was reading all this history, and I'm thinking, man, I should really, after I'm done with this, I should take the time to sit down and read the history of the Ukraine, because that's my family's history. From what I know that my great-grandfather, whose name is also Matthew, that was my namesake, my great-grandfather, I never met him. My mom never even met him. He was born in like actually, you know what? I think I actually have a picture, because we were up at the cemetery not too long ago, and I think I took a picture of his tombstone. I can actually tell you, my great-grandfather was named Matthew on my mother's side, and my great-grandmother was named Pazia. It's in here somewhere. No, not that. Maybe it's further ahead. I heard they're skipping My Villain Academia. Okay, so if they're skipping it this season, they're gonna do it next. They might just make next season. Actually, you know what? That's actually not a bad idea. If they just end season 5 with the Endeavor Agency arc, and then season 6 is just My Villain Academia, Hospital Raid arc. That's not a bad way to do it, because that would make all of season 6 fucking insane. That would make, from start to finish, season 6 like the biggest intense like war arc in My Hero Academia's history. Like, it would be insanity. That would not be a bad idea. I'll find it. You ever go through your phone to be like, you know, what was I doing a year ago today? Actually, what was I doing a year ago today? Oh, July 3rd, 2020. That was when I have a picture of myself with my Kanabo. So that must be a year ago today. I received this replica of a Japanese Kanabo from a fan that I keep next to my bed. You know, Kanabo! Bam! And it's been very useful with the Kaido videos, I must say. They moved it to the end of season 5. Yeah, that's what I thought. They were just going to move to the end of season 5. But yeah, I feel like all of season 6 has to be the Hideout Raid arc. Like, all of season 6 has to be that. You can't do freaking half of season 6. I mean, that's an entire huge arc. Oh, here it is. Yeah, okay. So my great-grandfather was born in 1886, and he died in 1956. So he was 70 when he died. My mom was born in 62, so my mom didn't even know her grandfather. And then Pazia lived a little longer. She lived 1895 to 1985. She died when she was 90. Yeah, so that was my great-grandparents. So they were born in the old country, in the Ukraine, and came over here and then had my grandfather in 1922. And he will be 99 on the 22nd of this month. Do you read any manhwa? If not, read Solo Leveling. This is a question, not a question. This is a thing I get, like a recommendation I get all the time. Like, people, like, it starts with, like, do you read manhwa? And it's like, read Solo Leveling. Let's see, that you blew through all the Harry Potter books fairly quickly. You should be able to read it in a day or two. Oh, yeah, I probably could. Same with Chainsaw Man. Like, Chainsaw Man, people kept, you know, read Chainsaw Man, read Chainsaw Man. It's not that long. And I read the whole thing in, like, a night. So it's not an issue of, like, time. It's just an issue of, like, when I feel like it. You know, when I feel like starting a new project. I prefer to think of you with Nico Robin chest better than Nico with your face when I play with my... Well, thank you, Justin. That was a very, enlightening post. Yeah, that information exists now. Favorite Persona girl, Makoto. I like Makoto, when I, played Persona 5. You know, Anne's cool, Futaba's cool, Haru's pretty nice, too. Haru with the psychic powers and stuff. Also, that her persona is just, like a Victorian lady with a giant gun. You know, that's, yeah. And so that's cool, but I would like Makoto just because I like the outfit is badass. She's on a fucking motorcycle. Like, that's pretty cool. Yeah. What if world government had been hunting the potential Joy Boys and then... Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I said that in the video. Like, what if the world government has been after the Gamu Gamu no Mi? Because it's like everybody that gets this Gamu Gamu no Mi is like a reincarnate of Joy Boy. And like every time they try to get the fruit to like lock it away... They fail. They fail every single time through the centuries. This has been going on for like 900 years, 800 years. And so when Who's Who lost it, that's why he was punished so bad. Like, we've been trying to find this damn... I actually have it over here. We've been trying to find this damn Gamu Gamu fruit for 800 years, and it keeps slipping through our fingers, and you were supposed to be the best, and you lost it? You're in prison. We're gonna, like, you know, beat the crap out of you for losing this, you know? That's what I think. Hand over the spaghetti devil fruits now, Tekking, or else I don't have the spaghetti fruit. Your super chat was lost. No, it wasn't, because I have them all. Except yours. Oh, dang, I guess it is lost forever. No, I still have them. Any chance that Mihawk is actually Im-sama? Because not secretly ruling over the world because the eyes look the same. Okay, so I've addressed this before. I did a whole video about this when it first came out. And I can understand why people would think that, okay? The eye thing is not specific to Im and Mihawk. That is not a thing that, like, only exists between those two characters, okay? Oda does this thing where every time he shows, like, a dramatic scene with a character or a character's giving a stare, he'll draw the irises that way. Nami has had the eyes drawn that way before. I think Zoro has had that done. Like, there's a lot of characters that have, like, normal eyes, and then it'll draw that way. Im is not Mihawk. Im is not Mihawk. That doesn't really make much sense. But that's, like, I think in that... And Im himself might not even have eyes like that. It's just he drew the eyes in that one moment to show that Im, we didn't know what Im's face looks like. We don't know what his body looks like. We don't know, his gender or their gender. We don't know if Im is even like, it might be a ghost or like an alien or something, you know, like a spirit for all we know. So in that moment, Oda had to convey Im's... The only thing he had to do was the eyes, and so he drew the eyes in that very intense, like, double, like, iris, like, Rinnegan kind of way to make it, like, intense, and that's all he could have done, because he didn't want to reveal anything else of Im. So that's the situation with that. Let's see. How's it going, Tekking? Pretty good. Pretty good. Do I play Magic the Gathering? So, no. Well, I know kind of how to play. Here's what happens, all right? Every now and then, I'll get really interested in Magic the Gathering, and I'll learn how to play it, but I won't have anybody to play it with, and then I'll lose interest, and then, like, 6 months later, I'll completely forget. So I have, I was looking through my closet the other day, I actually have, like, a 5-deck, like, starter kit thing, like, and so I have that, and I did learn how to play it at one point, but never really, I could probably remember, but I'd probably forget a lot of stuff. I'd have to read the instructions again. Do you think that it's odd that CP0 obviously knows Luffy's has the fruit, but they aren't showing any interest? It might be a thing, like, while somebody has the fruit, they can't do anything about it. You know, because if they kill Luffy, his devil fruit might reincarnate anywhere in the world. So it doesn't matter if they capture him or if they kill him. the fruit's going to be back in the wild anyway, and so they won't have any idea where it's at. Maybe if Vegapunk develops some kind of ability to, like, steal devil fruits or, like, remove devil fruit abilities, that could lead to a whole new thing. But yeah, other than that, I don't think it's, I think that makes sense why they're not looking at him. After your One Piece D&D, would you guys do another D&D set in the D&D world? I don't know, maybe. I mean, like, I love doing D&D. I'm glad that Rustage decided to start it during the pandemic because that kind of kept me sane because I couldn't game with my normal group, you know, because of COVID. So it's fun that we were able to finally play something. Maybe we could do another one. I don't know how long One Piece D&D is going to last. I guess it'll last until until we find the One Piece or we all die trying. I guess that's how it's going to go. If you had magic and can join a magic squad, what squad would you think you would join? Like in Black Clover? Probably like, let's see. Crimson Lions would be cool. Silver Eagles. Black Bulls would be fun, just really terrifying. I might get, like, you know, because, like, that crazy crew would, like, you know, I'd walk in and freaking Luck would just be like, hey, let's fight. I'd just be dead. So, yeah. I remember there was early translations of Black Clover where it's like his name wasn't as Luck. It's like it can't just be Luck. It has to be like R-U-C-K because of R's and L's. Yeah. Let's see. Who do you ship the Straw Hats with? I ship Frankie and Robin, and Sanji and Nami. Let's see. What do you think about the idea of Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, having something to do with the Gumu Gumu fruit, also the Awakening? Out of every character, I think the character that Oda is comparing Sun Wukong to from Journey to the West is freaking Nami. Because Nami, think about it, Nami has a staff that can extend, like Sun Wukong. She has Zeus, a cloud, which we don't know if she can ride on top of Zeus like the Nimbus or whatever, but she might be able to do that. So I think that's like, you know, right there, there's two direct references to like Sun Wukong. Yeah. What's my favorite obscure manga and anime? I do not watch a lot of obscure anime and manga. I watch a lot of mainstream stuff. Like, just looking at my shelf, like, Dr. Stone, Black Butler, Promised Neverland, Vigilantes, My Hero, One Piece, Bleach, Naruto, Full Metal Alchemist, Attack on Titan. It's pretty mainstream stuff. Let's see, Vinland Saga, but I feel like that's pretty mainstream. I've been reading the last chapter of Vinland Saga, just came out a little while ago. That was a good one. Yeah, them meeting the indigenous people of America. How's the house hunting going? Still going. Still going. Did you lose my super chats? No. Is Joy Boy the... Well, see, I don't want to answer that question because that is a spoiler for the next chapter. So that was from Joel. He donated 10. But I can't really answer that because we're not talking about spoilers for chapter 1018. I know the chapter is out on other translation sites. I know that. I've read it. But I don't talk about that until Sundays when I do the reviews. Because there's a lot of people in here right now that have not read the chapter yet that are waiting for the official and everything, and that's just when I do it. So I thank you for the donation, but I can't read your thing because that's a spoiler for the next chapter. Let's see. Are you caught up on Jujutsu Kaisen? No, I'm not, unfortunately. Do you play Apex? I played Apex a little bit with Briggs and everybody. Like it was probably close to a year ago now. I had it on my old computer. I'd have to re-download it on this one because I got a new one. But it was a fun game. I just, this is not a comfortable gaming setup for PC. I just need a better situation all around. Like get a good gaming chair or something. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil, don't worry. Yeah. Let's see here. Do you think they will do an anime adaptation for Fairy Tail 100-Year Quest? Also, how much subs would you have to be able to collab with you? I don't really... I mean, like, I do collabs every now and then with people, but, it's more of just, like, a scheduling kind of thing. 100-Year Quest. Yeah, so... I actually enjoyed the first, like, few arcs of 100 Year Quest because it was, like, it seemed to me like Mashima kind of understood the criticism that maybe he got with Fairy Tail, and he wanted to, like, expand it a little bit more, because it's like, let's travel to a whole new continent, and kind of, like, you know, fleshing out the world a little bit there, explaining a little bit more how magic works. You know, I haven't read it in a while. I probably stopped reading it, like, over a year ago. But I liked it. It'll probably get, like, Fairy Tail's very popular. Like, it's very popular. I know Eden Zero just got an anime adaptation. So it'll probably get an anime adaptation, honestly. And I'll probably watch it. Yeah. You know what I've realized? I've realized, like, Fairy Tail is like anime candy, where it's like, you know, you can't, like, if you just ate candy all the time, like, that's a bad idea, right? You know, it's not, like, good for you or anything, but, like, it's good. It's candy, right? It's delicious. So it's like, Fairy Tail to me is kind of like that. Like, you know, this is just a series. It's not going to go super in-depth with, like, the power system or anything like that. It's not going to be like Hunter x Hunter. So if you're into that kind of stuff, Fairy Tail's not for you. But if you just want, like, a pretty simple story, like, it has magic, and it has really cool fight scenes, and the soundtrack is amazing. If you just want to watch that kind of, like, here's a guy with fucking fire powers just one-shotting a war god. Like, we're not really going to go into more detail with that. We're not going to address the fact that Natsu just KO'd a fucking war god with one hit. It's cool. It looks cool. The art style's cool. The soundtrack's cool. The battles are cool. It's cool. Just watch it because it's cool, right? And so that's basically what it is, you know? Friendship powers. Yeah, I mean, you can get upset over that, and I did for a long time. You know what, the one thing I got really upset about with Fairy Tail was God Serena. I was so hype for God Serena. I thought God Serena, the #1 mage in all of Fiore, like, stronger than Makarov, stronger than Natsu, stronger than Urza, stronger than Loxus, stronger than Mystigan, stronger than Guildarts. This the strongest mage in all of Fiore, one of the gods of Ishval or whatever. Like, God Serena. And I'm like, oh my god, this guy is gonna be absolutely incredible. What kind of magic does he have? And it's like, well, he has Dragon Slayer magic. I'm like, shit! So, he has Dragon Slayer magic, like the 30 other characters in this series that have Dragon Slayer magic. I'm like, yes! But he has 8 of them at the same time! I'm like, okay, alright, yeah, alright, cool, yeah, I mean, okay, now that's, like I said, there's a lot of characters that have God Slayer magic, Demon Slayer magic, Dragon Slayer magic, so I was kind of wanting something else, but okay, 8 dragons? I'm on board with that. Gets one shot by Acnologia, comes back later, and I think Guildarts kicks his ass when he comes back as, like, a zombie. And I don't even think we find out all the 8 different kinds of dragon lacrima that he had in his body. It's kind of shit like that I wonder if Mashima was, like, doing it intentionally. Like, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna make people think that this God Serena dude's gonna be, like, the strongest mage ever, and he's gonna have this crazy deep backstory and character. Nah, he just gets one-shotted twice. I'm like, alright. Okay. And it's like, when that kind of stuff happens in the story, I'm like, I think this is intended to not be taken super seriously. You know what I mean? This would be like, no, seriously, no shit. This would be like in One Piece if, like, Shanks finally revealed his true power. Like, we're finally gonna get a fight with Shanks, right? After 20 plus years of not knowing what Shanks' power is, you know, how he really fights with his sword, you know, what his hockey, like, the true limits of Shanks' power really is. And he squares up against Blackbeard, and then, boom, he gets one-shotted by Blackbeard. And we never find out what he's capable of. Like, Oda would never do that, but I feel like Mashima was like, that was intentional. You were just having fun with that, weren't you? Oh, well. Mashima has a great sense of humor. It has to be humor. That couldn't have been on purpose. There's no way. There's no way he could have been sitting there like, yeah, I'm going to introduce this really badass, strong character, but then have him just get one shot to show how strong Acnologia... No. Oh, yeah. Anyway. Do you think Shaggy could kill All for One? Yeah, I think it goes... I think it would probably go All for One, and then Omni-Man, and then Shaggy. I think the hierarchy would go with that. What do you think the world government would do if some random baker... Oh, I answered that one. If they name their child after Roger, yeah. Let's see. I think I answered all these ones already. Straw Hat will die at the end of the series. What would happen if Luffy joined joined Shanks as a kid? Yeah, that's a question I get a lot. A lot of people have already made videos about that. I might make it, I might not, because I was thinking about doing a video on that, and then I checked, and, like, a lot of people already made one. Now, that doesn't mean I can't do it, but it's like, you know, I might do it. Maybe I have to... Because the problem is I don't want to watch... I don't want to say something in my video that's already been said in another one, and it's like, oh, you just copied that video. So I kind of have to go through and watch all these other videos to... It's like, all right, this is what they're saying. This is the way they're taking it. I got to figure out a different way to take it, you know? I answered that one. Can't for your own world. Yeah, I do need to do more videos on that. I just don't know when. I mean, honestly, I'm done with the Lieutenant series right now with Bleach. I got to do not an Ichigo, Rukia and Renji one. But maybe my next thing for Bleach would just be finally getting through the rest of Can't for Your Own World. Yeah. Do you think Blackbeard can read the poneglyphs? I think he's really intelligent. I don't think it's a problem with intelligence. I think, because Blackbeard is intelligent, I think it's just he doesn't have the information necessary to decode them. But he might find them at some point. Let's see. My old forest stories. Yeah, thank you. Will you make videos on Can't for Your Own World? That's another one, yeah. Will Nami fuse with Zeus? I don't know if she'll fuse with Zeus, but maybe she'll be able to fly around on Zeus like Goku in the Flying Nimbus. You know, that would be cool. That would be cool. I think I got all of these already. God. What if the passive ability of the Gumu Gumu no Mi is it makes the user bounce back stronger than before after every battle? So it's basically like a Zenkai boost, like the Gumu Gumu no Mi gives you the Zenkai power. Yeah, I don't think so. Interesting way to take it, though. I mean, Luffy's definitely said that before. Like, rubber always bounces back. He said that in his fight with Moria. I remember that. But no, I don't think there's some kind of, like, Zenkai power boost. Like, every time Luffy gets smashed into the ground and then comes back out, he's stronger because of that. Yeah. Do you think Rob Lucci foreshadowed Who's Who? Yeah, I saw that. I don't know. I don't think... I feel like he was referring to Spondum there. But it could have been Who's Who. I don't put it past Oda to layer things in his story like 700 chapters before a character's introduced, because he has done that before. Maybe. There was a line during Enies Lobby where after Rob Lucci sees what Luffy's capable of with, like, Gear Second and stuff, he says, you know, you're worthy of being called a captain. I would like to tell a certain idiot I know about you. I feel like that's Spondum, but it could have been about Who's Who. Also, it was said that Rob Lucci and Who's Who were, like, on equal level, but it was never stated that they actually, like, worked together, you know, so I'm not sure. Birthday stream. Happy birthday, Andrew! Oh, man, 1,000, I think that's the ruples, not ruples, or Indian rupees, I think, again. What if Rox ate the ship no Mi, allowing him to turn into a ship, and that's the Saber of Zebek, is Blackbeard's ship? Fuck it, let's go with it. Let's do it! He's Rox the ship. I turned myself into a ship, Marshall D. Teach. Check me out. I'm Ship Rox. It was like, all right, let's sail. Why not, right? Why the hell not? Aside from Jinbei being confirmed and Yamato being heavily teased, do you think we will have a chance at Carrot sticking with the Straw Hats? All right, I got to be honest with you here. I would like Carrot to join. I don't think she's going to join. After Totland, I kind of had this, like, okay, Totland focused a lot on Carrot. I was like, okay, once we get to Wano, we're going to have to decide. It's going to be based on how Oda utilizes Carrot in Wano, how often she has screen time, how often that she's like with the other Straw Hats, like how is this going to go? If there's a lot of that when we get to Wano throughout the arc, I'd say the chances of Carrot joining are pretty good. If there's not a lot of that, I don't think the chances are that great. Now, when the Straw Hats arrived to fight at Onigashima, they showed up on their ship. Carrot and Wanda were with them. And so the scene when Jinbei shows up and he's like, I'm here, and everyone's hugging Jinbei. You know, Carrot was there hugging Jinbei just like the rest of the crew. So I was like, maybe? Carrot did not really have a lot of focus in Wano. I mean, she's fought against Perospero with Wanda, and she's knocked out right now that we know of. We might have a chapter where her and Wanda get back up and finally defeat, or fight with Nekomamushi maybe and defeat Perospero. That would be cool to see. But right now, I don't think its odds are great that she's going to join, but I don't think they're completely out. I would say Yamato has a better chance of joining than Carrot does. Yeah, I don't think she won't. Higher chance Yamato would join. I think that too right now. But then again, keep in mind, every story arc of One Piece also always has, like, a new character that's introduced that kind of has, you know, like, as much screen time as the Straw Hats, you know? Like, Carrot had a lot of screen time during Totland, so that's why everybody was like, Carrot's gonna join, you know? And now Yamato has a lot of screen time, you know, in the later stages of the arc, but still screen time. So, I don't know. I really don't. I think Yamato has a better chance of joining, but Carrot, we'll see at the end of the arc, because also, the Minks are all there, so it would be very, very easy at the end of the arc for Carrot just to be like, I'm gonna go back home to Zou with my family. And then that would be it. I've avenged Pedro, Perospero's dead, we're going back home. It was great traveling with you all, but I think I'm gonna finally leave and go back to Zou. I could see that happening. It probably will happen. I don't have to fart right now, so sorry. I can't fulfill your wish. What are your opinions on Toriko? I like Toriko. I go back and reread it every now and then. I wish they would have done more stuff with the Gourmet World arc. I wish the anime would have extended the Gourmet World arc, but I like it. It's a good series. I think... How long have we been going? I feel like I've been going for more than an hour, but this reset the stream at some point, so this only says I've been going for 40 minutes. How long have I been streaming, guys? Oh, an hour. Okay, I've been going for like an hour and 3 minutes. Okay, so let me turn off Super Chats for right now. And I'll go through the Super Chats before we leave, because I feel like we have a lot of new ones. And I don't want to get too over-flooded with those. Alright, so I'll turn that off for the moment. Turn this audio mixer off. Okay. 59 minutes, 63 minutes. Okay, thank you. What chapter is the One Piece anime on? Jinbei just arrived, so that would put us probably right around chapter 974? 75? I am going off of my memory here, so somebody would have to look that up to see how good I am at that. I know the last chapter of, like, Roger's backstory. No. It has to be closer to 980. Has to be closer to 980. Maybe 976, 977 we might be at right now. And the manga's at chapter 1018, so, yeah. 976! Bam! I don't really have a dream car. So, my, I drove a Pontiac G6 for many years. My first car was a Chevy Cavalier. It was my mom's old car, and I drove that from 2011 to 2014. No, 2000. Yeah, like 2011 to 2014. It was an older car. It was kind of up there in mileage, but that car was a fucking tank. I loved my Chevy. So my mom decided to get a new car. She gave me her old G6, and I drove that car for about 7 years. I drove that car into the dirt pretty much. Because I went to go get it inspected this year, and they were like, my neighbor is actually the mechanic that looks at my cars. They have a garage, and they're looking at it, and they're like, yeah, your like bottom of your car is all like rusted out, and the brakes are bad, and that car is basically, it turned into a money hole the last few years I had it. where it was like, I just need to get a new car because this thing is just costing, like, every few months it's like more and more money. So finally my neighbor, like, yeah, your car's pretty in rough shape. I mean, you could fix it, but it would probably cost like a few $1,000s to do it. And I'm like, you know what? I think it's time to get a new one. So I don't really, I didn't really, I'm looking to buy a house too. And the thing that I did not want to happen was like buy a house first. And then like a month after I buy a house, my car just explodes. And like, well, shit, guess I gotta buy a new car too. So yeah, I live with my mother right now. So I didn't want that to happen, so I'm glad I got the car taken care of first, because my car, it did have some serious brake issues. It was probably not safe for me to drive that as long as I had been. But anyway, I was like, you know what, I found a car for, like, I looked at the thing, and it's like, all right, I drive a Chevy Malibu. It's a used Chevy Malibu, pretty good mileage. It was like 16,000 miles mileage that I had. It was like a company car for somebody. It was actually, this is funny. So I got my new car and it has like a Bluetooth thing in there and I'm like messing with it. And it tells me like the previous user, like the previous person that synced to the Bluetooth. And it just said Karen's Bluetooth. So the previous owner of my Malibu was a lady named Karen, apparently. And I'm like, oh God, I don't know if I can buy this. I don't know if I should keep this car now. That was a tough decision. That was a really rough decision. I decided to keep it, but could you have a new car? I mean, a used car, knowing it was owned by a Karen? I don't know, man. It's a question I ponder every day. You know? Oh, yeah. But I like it. I like it. It's not a super crazy, you know, top-down convertible Mustang, you know, 13 million horsepower. I'm not a car guy. I am not a car guy. Isn't your mom called Karen? Yes. And she hates the memes to no end. They're making a horror movie about a racist lady, and it's just called Karen. And I had to tell my mom that. I'm like, Mom, I'm so sorry they're making a movie about it. And she's like, are you kidding me with this shit? I'm like, yeah, no, they're doing it. There's a trailer for it. Go and watch it. It's about a lady that lives, you know, and she's like, you know, her neighbors are black, and like it's like a horror movie where she's like racist, and she's a Karen, and that's where it came from. So I don't know if it's gonna be any good, but it's a movie that's being made. So yeah, yeah. Memes are becoming movies now. Memes are becoming movies. What's the next meme you want to become a movie? I want the Shaggy meme to become a movie. Just fuck it, make the Shaggy meme a movie, right? Just, like, get the rights from whatever, Scooby-Doo, Warner Brothers or whatever, and just have Shaggy fighting, like, you know, okay, I guess you can't get the rights to, like, everything, but, like, make, like, a pseudo-Goku. Make, like, a copyright-free Goku, a copyright-free Superman, a copyright-free Batman, and just have Shaggy beat the shit out of all of those characters. Fidget Spinner, the movie! There's an actual Fidget Spinner movie? Yeah. Oh, God. Harambe, the movie? That could be, like, a really, like, dramatic, like, documentary, honestly. You know? I want the boob meme to become a movie. Yeah, that's the new era of cinema. In the 2020s, the 2020s are all going to be about, you know, meme movies. So, like, the 2000s were all about parody movies. Remember those? I was just thinking about these the other day. Remember all those fucking parody movies that existed and then they just went away? So we had, like, Scary Movie. Scary Movie came out in the year 2000. So Scary Movie, like 2, 3, 4. I think they made like 5 or 6 of those. And then Epic Movie, and then Superhero Movie, and then freaking like Date Movie. Disaster Movie was like the fucking worst. And so they had all these freaking parody movies. And then what were the 2010s? The 2010s were all like superhero movies, right? Like that's where like the Marvel universe and the DC universe. So that was like all throughout the 2010s was like superhero movies, right? And so now we're in the 2020s. We need a new movie theme to have, right? So meme movies. Yeah, that's what we'll do. I like Scary Movie too. Yeah. Yeah, Scary Movie. Not another teen movie. Oh God, these got so bad near the end. These got so fucking bad near the end. Yeah. I liked This Is the End. This Is the End was a good one. I like that one. Yeah. I am not a huge fan of Adam Sandler. I'm not a... You know what? I liked him in Uncut Gems. He did a movie called Reign Over Me, which was really good. I like him in more dramatic roles. I never found Adam Sandler that funny. And I know some people put him up there as, like, you know, he is the funniest dude, like, around. I've met people that are like, Adam Sandler's the greatest. And you know what? Sure. Okay. I'm just saying, I personally don't find the dude funny. You know, I've seen The Waterboy. I've seen Happy Gilmore. I've seen, like, Click. You know, we went to the drive-in last year to see Grown Ups. We saw Grown Ups. I'm just like, I don't find his sense of humor very funny. If you like him, go ahead. I'm fine with it. But, you know, I just don't find him funny. And then we went to see Uncut Gems, and I'm like, holy shit, I like the character. Howard, he played. I remembered the character he played. I don't remember the fucking name of any other character Adam Sandler ever played. But, fucking, I remember his character as Howard in Uncut Gems. It's a really good movie. I watched it twice. I watched an Adam Sandler movie twice. Ryan Reynolds is good. I liked Ryan Reynolds. The only Ryan Reynolds movie I've ever really seen is Deadpool. I mean, he's probably been in other stuff I've seen, but nothing that really comes to my mind. I liked him in Deadpool. I thought he was hilarious. I haven't seen Deadpool 2. Is it any good? Haven't seen it. Barry D. Brick movie. You know what I was thinking the other day? Me and my friends were talking about... No, it was my mom. Yeah, I was talking to my mom. She was watching Independence Day. I was downstairs cooking dinner, and she was on TV, and she's like, you know what? I've never seen Independence Day. Do you like Independence Day? And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. You know, Will Smith's pretty good in it and everything. I like Independence Day. It's kind of a cheesy movie. You know, the president gets in a fucking fighter jet to shoot down aliens. But I'm like, yeah, it's a pretty good movie. So, yeah, we're down there, we're watching Independence Day, and we start talking about space and stuff, and my mom is like, you know, could aliens really attack us? And I actually had to tell my mom about the whole thing, like, the government just revealed, like, the FBI just released, like, there's, like, UFOs, like, unidentified flying objects that are traveling, like, super fast that we don't even know about, like, we have no idea what they are or anything, and my mom's like, you're making this shit up, and I'm like, no, I'm not, like, the FBI literally, like, they're not saying they're aliens, they're just saying, like, yeah, there are these things that exist that, like, we can't track. They move faster than any jet, a radar. Like, they're in one location and then they'll just pop away like miles away in, like, an instant, and, like, we can't track them. I have a friend that's in the Navy, and I was talking to him about that, and he's like, yeah. So, I mean, like, aliens, extra-dimensional creature, I don't know, like, future, like, they're time travelers, whatever, you take it, whatever it is, I don't know, but we were talking about that, and I was telling her about, like, the Voyager spacecrafts that are, like, traveling outside the solar system. And anyway, that, getting back to the topic of Barry, I was actually thinking, like, if there was ever a way to launch Barry into outer space, I would take that. You know what I mean? I would take that. Because Barry could be in outer space, traveling outside of our solar system, like, if he survives, if he doesn't, like, get hit by an asteroid or something, or get sucked into a black hole, Barry might be, like, one of the last remnants of humankind, you know? Like, we'll be long gone, like, you know, hundreds of thousands, hundreds of millions in the future. Barry will just be floating in the void. Just like Cars. Yeah, just like Cars. And aliens, like, you know, billions of years in the future, they'll finally discover a relic of a far gone age. What was this? This was their god. So I gotta say right now, I don't think that situation will ever come up. But if there was ever an option where, like, NASA or somebody decided, hey, we're gonna launch random shit into deep space. Not just into orbit, not just to the moon. No, we're gonna, like, Voyager this shit. Like, we're gonna send it on a trajectory to leave our solar system, to leave the Oort cloud. It'll take like 30,000 years to pass through the Oort cloud. The Oort cloud is like the outer perimeter of the Oort cloud is like everything that is in the sun's gravity. So that's like the outer boundary of our solar system, okay? And it's like you're traveling, like here's the Earth, here's Mars, here's Jupiter, here's like Pluto, and like the Kuiper Belt, and you got to travel further after that, like way further beyond Pluto, and then you'll finally get to like the inner point of the Oort cloud, and then it takes like millions of light years to travel through the Oort cloud, and then finally you'll eventually get out of the Oort cloud. You'll be outside of our solar system. You will be in deep space. You know, and so it'll take thousands of years. But yeah, if SpaceX is ever like, here's a contest and the winner gets to send whatever they want into space, you know, like any object they want into space, and I'd be like, all right guys, I'm sorry, like I'll literally send the real Barry, like the real Barry, like it has to be, right? Like, you know, Barry has to outlive mankind, okay? He has to live on, okay? That would be, because I want you to picture this. Imagine if, like, that happened, and Barry was in space, like getting sent toward a trajectory to leave the solar system or whatever. They put him in some kind of, like, spaceship or something, and they launch him into space. And the Earth gets blown up by, like, an asteroid or, like, a super flare from the sun just, like, nukes the Earth. And we're all gone. Like, humans, all life is wiped out, the planet is destroyed. Like an asteroid the size of the moon just crashes into the Earth and just obliterates it, right? Barry still be alive. Barry will still exist, floating around in outer space. You know? And Barry's gonna become the Y-Man. Yeah. It's like, just before the meteor hits, it'd be like, at least Barry made it out okay. You know? Oh, God. Put Barry in a time capsule. Okay, that might be the more realistic thing to do. I'm an old man. I'm like in my 80s or in my 90s, and Barry is still sitting on my like my holoscreen like mantle or whatever, and I'm like, "You will outlive me." And I take him and I seal him in a time capsule under the ground. Is like, open in 200 years. Barry, he'll live on in some form. In some way, in some form. Unless I drop him and he shatters on the asphalt. I mean, that's another possibility. Or I move to a new house and I lose him at some point. I mean, that could be another thing. Or we really need an extra brick for a wall, and I guess, you know. We need to animate all this, yeah. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, okay, I've been going for an hour and 20 minutes. Okay, let's go through Super Chats again, and I think we can call it. That's a good one. Do you watch Loki? Yeah, I haven't seen the 4th episode yet. I hear the 4th episode is really intense. I gotta watch it probably later today. One Piece Isekai. I gotta figure out new ideas for the One Piece Isekai. You know, I did 4 of them, and I'm like, man, I gotta come up with new ideas for that, like new reference tables or how else to do it. I know, because I'm kind of running out of ideas with that. Alright, so let's see what we got here. $10 from Barry D. Clone. Do you think Katarina Devon is somewhere in Wano feeding the information back to Blackbeard? Possible, because she can transform with the Nine-Tailed Fox zone, and Blackbeard has some kind of informant. It could be Katarina Devon, or it could be just somebody else. Yeah, that fake story about the Walmart fights. Yeah, some of my, like, old vlog channel videos are being pushed by the algorithm all of a sudden. Like, there was some random story I told about getting into a fight at Walmart. There was a story I think I told once about, like some girl I met at Dollar Tree once, you know, like, way back in, like, 2012. I made these, like, stupid, like, you know, fake they were all fake. They were all fake stories. And I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna have fun with this. And they're being pushed by the algorithm all of a sudden, so I don't know. But hey, you know, whatever. What's your favorite food from One Piece? I guess we'll have to wait. I've always wanted to try Hachi's takoyaki. The takoyaki stand that Hachi and Kami and Papagu run always seemed like delicious. Like the takoyaki and like the sauce and like the seasonings that looks fucking delicious. I've never had takoyaki. I've never had octopus. It looks delicious. I've just never had it. I gotta cook dinner after this. I bought chicken the other day. I gotta cook chicken and, do you ever hear of broccolini? Yeah, broccolini. Yeah, it exists. It's like broccoli crossed with, like, I want to say zucchini, but I actually don't know what it's crossed with. Anyway, I gotta come. That's dinner tonight. I gotta make that. Tekking, what would you do if the League of Villains showed up in the... Oh, wait. What would you do if the League of Villains characters videos... Oh, would I do League of Villains series? Yeah, I've wanted to do that. I said I was going to do that after the My Hero videos. I just never got around to it. Glad I did not do it back then, though, because we know way more about them now than we did back then. You mean Broly? No, broccolini. Yeah, it's called broccolini. Yeah. Let's see. Sabo versus Katakuri. I feel like Sabo, well, I want to think Katakuri might have the upper hand because Sabo's still getting used to his Devil Fruit power, whereas Katakuri is a complete master of it. I might give the edge to Katakuri right now. Marco's Devil Fruit is better for Blackbeard than Kaido's Devil Fruit. Oh, like for him to steal. I mean, both would be very useful, but yeah, I could see Marco's because he can literally like heal people. So yeah, that would be useful. Let's see. Goku versus Superman. Who would be another matchup? Goku versus... oh no, a better manga versus comic matchup than Goku versus Superman. I don't know. That's kind of like the standard one. So 2 characters from manga and comics. I like Batman. I like the Green Lantern. Batman versus... Who's like the Batman of anime? I want to say Usopp, but I feel like he's more advanced than Usopp. Batman has way more tech than Usopp ever could in his dreams. Superman versus All Might would be good. Heidi versus Kim Possible. Wolverine versus Grimmjow. That would be a metal fucking fight. Luffy versus Mr. Fantastic. That would be good. Yeah. Let's see. I've seen Loki. Yeah. It is fire. Do you think giants can have devil fruits? That's been confirmed. Not Jesus Burgess. San Juan Wolf. San Juan Wolf is a giant that had a devil fruit that allows him to multiply his size. So he's not normally that big as like Marineford. He can shrink down to the size of a regular giant. But that's his fruit. Yeah. And there's other giants that have had fruits in like video games and stuff. In like OVAs. I don't really ship Zoro with anyone, no. Do you plan a meet this summer and fall? You know, the nearest convention that I might go to, and I don't even know if I'm going to go to this one, TekkoCon is happening in Pittsburgh in December. At least that's the date right now. I don't think the date will change on this one. It was supposed to be in July. It was supposed to be this month, but they pushed it back again. I think everything will probably be pretty much back to normal by then, so it probably will be December. But that's around Christmas, and it's like the winter, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to that one. Let's see. My most obscure manga anime, I really don't have one. Do you think Crocodile's secret will ever be revealed? I personally think it would be cool if he turns out to be Dragon's brother. It's something Ivankov knows that Crocodile does not want anybody to get out. Being Dragon's brother would make more sense, I think, than that Crocodile used to be a woman theory. Because I don't think Crocodile would be like that guarded and like don't let anybody know about that. I don't think Crocodile would really care about that too much, like to that degree. You know, that like Ivankov changed Crocodile's gender. You know, it might be like a connection that he had with somebody in the Revolutionary Army. That I think would make more sense to me. Let's see. I don't know what chapter like My Hero's at right now in the anime. You'd have to just look that up on the wiki, and you can just like sync it up there. Let's see. I answered that one. Do you think there might be another vestige in My Hero Academia because it started as 2 quirks? No, I think, well, yeah, I mean, like, you could say there could be a vestige of All for One inside of One for All, because technically he gave half of the quirk to provide the power. So, in a weird way of how it mixed, that actually might make sense. I might make a video about that. That actually does make sense. Because All for One, because his brother had the stockpile, had the transferring quirk, and All for One had the stockpiling quirk and gave it to his brother, and they mixed to create One for All. So maybe part of All for One exists in there, and like in some like secure place that he can't gain access to. Maybe. Rustage is in here. Hey, Rustage. I'm almost done with the stream, actually, but thanks for joining me, man. Rustage! Rustage, take over the stream. I'm gonna, like, I don't know. Answer a text message, I guess. Nah, that's alright. OMG! Do you think Luffy can beat Eren? In his regular Titan form, yeah. In his founding form, probably not. Did you know they're going to make a Persona 5 racing game? I'm not lying. They've made, like, a hack and slash kind of Persona. They made a dancing game out of Persona 5, like... Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. Why not? I'm just... Persona 6. What if all the Scabbards time jump forward? Then we would not be able to do the raid as effective because Denjiro would not have been able to gather as many people to help them out. So that actually would have been a detriment. Yeah, Season 6 of My Hero has to be all the war because you got 25 episodes. One is a recap. And that's 54 chapters they got to adapt. So yeah, they got to get moving. Now, granted, a lot of those, like, this is a war arc. So a lot of the stuff that happens, like, there's, like, chapters and chapters which are primarily action and not so much, like, dialogue. So, you know, they could go through more chapters in that episode. But they got to, yeah, they got a book to get that through in a season. Let's see. I answered that one. That was just the spaghetti fruit. I think I answered all of these. Yeah, because these are the ones, yeah, I saw that one before. The D&D episodes, yeah, the Ukraine history. Yeah, I think I answered all those. Okay, so, that's that. Killua versus Yoroichi. Ooh, that would be a good one. Yeah, I want to talk more about Chainsaw Man. I'm just going to wait until the anime comes out, because it got announced already, so. I saw the trailer for it. Looks good. I'm excited. Someone donated 1K. 1,000 whatever that currency is. I feel like that's Indian rupees. I feel like that's Indian currency. But not $1,000, no. I actually think there's a cap with Super Chat. I don't think you can donate more than $500 or the equivalent at any time. I think that's the cutoff there. Rustage, what's your favorite Pokemon? I don't know. Batman versus Joseph Joestar. That would be funny. Batman would win, but it would still be funny. Does anybody remember Batman Beyond? That's the shit I used to watch when I grew up. Yeah, let's go Batman Beyond with this. I was going to say, the cap is 500, yeah. Yeah. It's like $120. I don't know. I think it's because it's color-coded. I think to be the equivalent of $100, I think it has to turn red. And I think if it's in between $50 and $100, then it's like that purplish, pinkish color. Yeah. Do you have any interest on the Fate series, like Fate Stay Night and everything? I watched the first episode of Fate Stay Night when I was in college. We had like an anime club. I remember we watched the first episode of that. It was good. I just never ended up watching more of it. I vaguely remember it. But yeah. How many hours do I work on YouTube? It varies. It depends what the video's about. It depends on how much I mess up, which happens a lot. If you account for everything, like planning a video, not really planning, like, because I don't script, but like I have to have a general idea, like what I'm going to talk about, write notes, I got to get the images, I got to get everything in a folder, So there's like probably like an hour. So it's weird because sometimes I'll do it like a little bit the night before and then the next morning just to get everything together. And then I'll film, and filming can take anywhere from half an hour to an hour if I really fuck up, or if the subject is like we did the SBSs. Like whenever I do the SBS videos, like those take over an hour to film because like there's so much information. Editing is completely connected to that. If it's like an hour of material, it's probably going to take 2 hours to edit or something like that. You know, if I'm paying attention and keeping track. Sometimes I'll do speed editing. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, fuck, I gotta be somewhere at 6. I gotta speed edit this shit. You know, sometimes I'll do that. And then after that, there's just rendering and editing. Probably like, I don't know, 3-4 hours a day, maybe. Compared to a regular job, it's not bad. It's not bad. And I've been doing it for so long, I have a pretty good, like, rhythm at this point. But if you include everything from, like, gathering information to filming, editing, rendering, uploading, everything, making a thumbnail, which that doesn't take long. Making a thumbnail takes like 5 minutes. Probably like, you know, a few 3-4 hours. I don't have any games on my phone. I don't play games on my cell phone. I played Go, Pokemon Go for a while, and I stopped with that, and now I don't play anything on my phone. I'm boring. Chilling in the park and watching Tekking streaming. Show the rest of your room. Nah. I'll do that when I move out. I'll do a whole thing. Like, this was my room. And here's my new room. Yeah. How long do videos take you back in the day? Actually, it took me less time because I didn't edit as much. Like, when I started doing manga reviews in 2011, I was actually doing all of the big three. So I was doing Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece the same day. 3 videos, all uploaded the same day. So I would literally just film it, and if I really fucked up, I'd cut that out. But I'd really just like 15-minute One Piece video, 15-minute Bleach video, 15-minute Naruto video. And then I would only add like 1 or 2 pictures for like 1 or 2 manga panels in each video. And just like, okay, add like 1 or 2 pictures, cut this out. All right, render. Okay, next. Add 1 picture, render, next. You know, and then I just upload because I had to get like 3 done in one day. Now that would be like, that would be like an all-day project. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. There was, yeah, there was the Sternritter video. Yeah, I made a compilation video, the Sternritter video. There was like an issue with it, and I had to like edit it with YouTube's editor, and then it got kind of fucked up. And yeah, it's privated right now. But I was thinking about just redoing the whole thing, honestly, because Bleach is coming back, and that was like a big thing because Bleach is coming back. The Sternritters are going to be there. I would have wanted to do a new video series on that anyway, because we're going to see the Sternritters in anime form, like properly. So I'm probably just going to wait for Bleach to come back, and then I'll just do a whole other big compilation video on the Sternritters again, featuring like the updated like designs of them. That's probably the way I'm going to go. Yeah. You talked about a really bad Fairy Tail dub once. Yeah, that was the Odex dub, I think. There was a really bad one. I remember watching it. I remember it was my first one that I watched. That was actually how I got introduced to Fairy Tail, was through that really crappy dub. And it was like, Gray's voice was like this really nasally kind of nerdy voice, like, hi, I'm Gray Fullbuster and I have ice powers. Like, that was basically like Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory voiced Gray Fullbuster. Like, that, it was like weird, dude. Juvia had like a thick like Russian accent. It was very strange. But anyway, yeah, I've been going for about an hour and a half now. I'm gonna probably call it here. That's a good one. Yeah, about an hour and a half. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. This week coming up, we got the review tomorrow. No One Piece next week. No review. We're actually getting a lot of breaks coming up. I think it's literally going to go like One Piece break, One Piece break, One Piece break. Like, it's literally going to be like for the next like few months, probably until like freaking August or whatever. So get ready for that. But there is a chapter tomorrow. I'll do a review on that. Monday will probably be the follow-up. Wednesday, we're going to do the fan mail stream. Thursday and Friday, I don't know, and then Saturday we'll do another stream here. But anyway, thanks for watching. This was fun. Barry, maybe we'll blast you off into space someday, and you'll be a space brick. Maybe we can do that. Yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for all the donations and whatnot. You guys have a great day. I'm gonna go. I gotta cook dinner, and I also have to... Is it raining still? I should probably go mow the grass, because that is getting tall again. All right, later, everyone. I always forget I have to end the stream over here. See ya!